Alright, baby. Whiskey and Kicks. Brocky here. Unboxing time.
Unboxing time. So the last one of 2019.
The last one of 2019 and the first one to air 2020.
Boom.
Because it's not coming out for us.
Because it's not coming out to the other side.
What's good, you know?
Hey, man, I can't call it, man.
Change things up a little bit.
It's, sorry, got the old-fashioned step and repeat.
That means you step off and repeat that. Come back.
That action.
Repeat that action. What's going on with you, though, man?
Man, all is well, man. You know, just rounding out the year, getting ready to start the new one. Make some changes to some things we've been working on, and you know, go from there, man.
Yeah, John, I saw you. I was stepping out on my balcony when you pulled up. I thought you was gonna be maybe another hour before you got here, and you stepped out of your vehicle, real cocky.
I did.
You real cocky.
I don't want that to go unnoticed. I think the greatest part about that is it was a personal moment, and I felt good. I felt good. I felt good that how I felt I was moving was being, was being seen in that manner.
Well, yeah, I got a pair. So let's start off with what you had there.
So I brought 3 joints with me, which have come through the month of December. These were purchased in time for, I was supposed to rock them for our event, the coat drive and the holiday party. The backstory is, well, let's get into it. This is quick.
Okay.
People have seen a version of these, but they haven't seen these. And here's why.
He's telling you haven't seen these.
You haven't. Because the stores,
indeed,
a lot of stores went out and they purchased, or they're selling the all silver and the all gold joints. But nobody is selling the rose gold.
Haven't seen them.
And
this is crazy.
So, a couple of interesting things happened.
These yours, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, couple of interesting things happened. So, first off, Nike got hip. You'll remember a few episodes ago, I spoke about it. When Dex came on, he talked about it also, which was we used to sneak over to the women's side and get those sneakers, right? So what used to happen is Nike used to make them for women, and we just got the appropriate size, which means sometimes they were a little tighter or whatever.
It's not a perfect fit.
It's not a perfect fit. So because of that, I used to fluctuate between an 11.5 and a 12.5 because my Air Force Ones are usually 10s. Well, when I saw these and saw that they were women's, I mistakenly ordered the 12.5, right?
Oh, okay.
Because I tried to order the 12. So that came, well, first off, I tried to get them on Sneaker app and they sold out like that. Bomb. But then, like the next day, they popped back up on the regular Nike app. And I was like, oh snap. So I grabbed the 12.5, and I thought they would sell out again, and they didn't. So the 12.5 came, I ordered the 12, right? Just to make sure, because I can always return.
Oh, these are joints you bought 2 pairs
So I end up buying 3 pairs of these sneakers, because what ended up happening was Nike made them for men. So these don't fit like women's sneakers. So going up the extra size was an actual extra size.
But didn't they list when you looked at it, found them online?
I did, and they showed up. They showed up as the women's, and then they said women's size / men's size. But Nike would always do that. Nike would always do that, and normally I know with the women's, I just go up another half. So I ended up copying these. I had to take the other 2 back to Nike.
That's crazy, son.
So here's what's also interesting. I take it back to Nike while we're waiting on the Nike store in Georgetown. One of the managers there, the young lady who was helping me, when she pulled them out of the box, she was like, "Wow." I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill them with these. Yeah, I'm gonna kill them with these."
This is happening.
She was like, "I see," and I had on that polo bear joint with the matching blazer. Right, and so she was like, "Well, I see." I said, "Yeah, I got some plans for these." Her manager, this older white gentleman, looks at him and was like, "Oh, these are uglier in person." And I was just like, looked down at his feet He had on like.
Let's do a heat check.
Let me do a heat check. Look down at his feet. He had on some like black somethings.
Just got them mowing the lawn.
Yeah, so some black, just a plain black Air for Nike or something. I was just like, I looked at her and she was like, yeah.
Listen.
Come on.
I got to tell the story now. So remember I told you about Taj?
Yeah.
So
You got to tell the
Taj,
story.
He comes home. I'm like, yo, how was your day and everything? So he tells me, so my son Taj is going through a whole, I'm not saying he's going through it. He's rocking Chelsea boots.
This guy.
He's destroyed.
I did not see this
He's
coming.
18. Sneakers are secondary now. He's a sneaker fanatic. So he was like, yeah, I was in line at lunch. He was like, I have my headphones in. These two kids was in front of me and they looked back at me. They looked down. He's like, then they started like chuckling and stuff. He was like, so I looked down at them. I looked at what they had on. He was like, I could have ended their careers right there. But
In the lunch line.
I could have ended their careers in the lunch line.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Grand closing.
All
man.
in one shot.
But he let them live.
He let them live. Sometimes you gotta let them live, man. They don't always deserve
So
it.
that's the same kind of thing. So
Yeah.
These is crazy. I mean,
These are stupid.
What is this material though?
I don't know. It's like
Some synthetic something.
like a foilish feel to it. It's just all
crazy
metallic.
Yeah.
These are gonna hit the streets for special moments. And just for the record, I'm gonna wear these with a suit. Yes.
We'll be waiting to see this.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That is the initial plan.
General release.
General release. And just to help a few of you who are gonna do this anyway, they're still available on Nike.
You're not gonna go get them.
You're not though, because you don't know what to do with them.
You're not gonna go. Those stuff, son.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. Like the color of this rose gold.
Just rose gold.
Nuts. Beautiful with the white bottom.
It's clean.
And they kept all the stitching, keep the whole upper all rose gold.
Yeah.
There's not a smidgen of anything that's not rose gold on this upper.
Yeah.
Right here. No black, no nothing.
No alternate shoestrings, no nothing, just it.
Straight,
Boom.
what did we say? Straight boogers and sugar.
Straight boogers and sugar.
Straight boogers and sugar.
Shout out to Tracy
let's
Morgan.
Get it poppin', man. Let's sip a little something.
Let's do it.
Let's sip a little something. I've been saving this bottle. I grabbed this bottle.
Let me get my foundation together, because
Get your foundation right. So this is from Black Button Distillery out of Rochester, New York.
Okay.
One of my favorite, I call them craft spirits type of spots, whatever. It's a small distillery and everything, but it's delicious. They have good stuff. I haven't had this yet. This is what's called a store pick.
Okay.
So you can see right here it says Market View Liquor. So basically the liquor, that big liquor store I go through with the shopping carts.
Yeah.
Every time I go there,
Yeah.
they pick a barrel from the distillery and then it's only sold in their store.
So like when we went to Jack Rose and they had the Lionel Richie bottle.
Yeah,
which
there you
is
go.
the same concept.
What was that? That was barrel. So same concept and whatnot. This is
they go and pick when do they pick the barrel? At any time, early in, it doesn't matter.
I would think that is when it's ready to be tasted.
Okay.
So, and they say, no, we want to have that one. And the thing about store picks, if you can find a store pick of anything, everyone knows that hunts for whiskey and stuff.
Yeah.
You want to grab a store pick because if you go grab a regular bottle of this, it's going to taste good, probably. But it's going to be different. It's going to be different. And different is good when it comes to whiskey. So let's go ahead and pour a little bit of this, man. This is a single barrel. This is a single barrel. Let me see, 114.7 proof. Just to let you know what's popping.
Jesus Christ.
14.7. That's good for you, right?
Sir, yes, sir. You started out with 114. I don't know what you thought this was. What kind of business am I in?
Nick, you good?
Yep.
You want some of that?
No.
All right.
Let's go, man. Do what we... yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
Cheers, man.
Check
this out. That's nice. You got some bite to it. You got a little bite to it. You got some attitude.
All right. So I will do the preliminary what I think I taste. There's something sweet in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
It's sweet.
I don't know if it's a honey-ish or
There's
something.
some syrupy honey type
Something.
of situation
All right.
going on.
My palate is getting better, people. You're watching me mature on this show.
Yep.
Outside of that, I got nothing but bourbon. That thing, it's 60 degrees outside right now, ladies and gentlemen. My temperature just went up.
Right.
A solid 20 degrees. But it is good, though.
The corn, boy. The corn shows up.
It's good.
Caramel, vanilla. I love it. I love they had the notes on a bottle. Charred oak, caramel, and vanilla.
Okay. I will say this. After taking the sip, if I breathe through my mouth, I can actually taste like those little caramel squares that you chew, you know what I mean, that you get.
Yeah.
You can actually taste that.
Yeah.
So that's there. That's
there.
crazy.
It's fantastic, right? So I should
That's
bring
crazy.
some water over here so you can open it up.
I was gonna ask, when are we gonna start doing that?
We gotta start doing
You
it.
did that the one time when we were with the Lionel Richie bottle.
Right.
And it was crazy how that actually changed.
It changes the complexion.
We'll start doing that from now on.
No, I want to do it right now because I'm really curious about this one.
All right.
Let's do something really unorthodox. Nick, can you do me a favor? Yeah. Can you grab some kind of water or something? This go right through this part. Yeah, I'll just cut all that shit out or leave it.
No, leave it.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
All
right, so I need to pour a little more, right? So I can open it up.
Cup or something up there, or even right here. Yeah, there you go. Just put a little bit of water in there.
Okay, with ice.
Oh no, this water. That's good. That's good. And then I don't have a dropper. So let's do. Hold on. Give me like a spoon.
I have to act. Oh God, that's
We're
crazy.
gonna hood this out.
We're gonna hood this out. I poured a little more, and then it got on.
Huh? Oh, you poured a little more?
Mm-hmm.
God.
Well, I shouldn't be drinking it now, so let me not drink it yet.
Thank you. All right, so this is what we'll do. This is some hood.
This
shit
is it.
right here. All right, but we're doing it though.
All right, so it's supposed to just be a drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
You got a drop in yours.
Getting a drop from a spoon is hilarious.
It's tough.
All right, so now we open it back up again, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
See, now it has the caramel smell is stronger, and maybe because I've already tasted it and now I'm doing the open sniff with my mouth open thing.
Man.
But now it's like a.
It feels like for me, it actually enhanced everything that I got the first time. It didn't change the complete. I'm not getting like fruit. I'm not getting any fruit out of this. I'm not getting any fruit out of this.
It is definitely more caramel and maybe because it feels a little smoother. And that could just be me.
But you need to add a little bit of water to it. That makes sense.
Right.
Black button. You got one here, baby.
Well done.
I rock with this.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
See now, yes. Mm-hmm.
Y'all can just sit there and watch us drink. You know what I'm saying? This is no biggie. This is what we do, baby.
I will be completely honest, ladies and gentlemen.
This shit is.
I didn't believe any of this was a thing in the beginning.
Right.
I really did not. Like I thought people were just being extra. You know what I mean? Like there's no way a drop of water is gonna make anything different.
Change it.
This is the second time we've done this.
Yeah.
And this is the second time that it has been proven to be true. That single drop of water changes the whole situation.
That's right, man.
That is really good.
I love this. This is nice.
Stand by. Because I'm like 3 sips in.
Stand by.
I'm like 3 sips in. Let's not get carried away.
Go ahead and break so you can do your thing.
Break or no break, I'm sipping.
That was a gift. Oh shit, Joe over there. Making me look bad. Yo, we back. You back? You good? Talk to him. Talk to the people. Let me fix my camera there real quick. Talk to the people. He just drinking shit like you needed to.
This is the second time. I can't hold
You
on.
learned from this.
Hold up.
right? Look, man.
I think my eyes are watering.
Yo, you don't even have your regular voice right now. This is a 114.7 proof bourbon, B. Single barrel.
Hold on.
He doesn't want to. I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. He doesn't want to officially try to start talking because if he does, he's gonna have what we call the half cough. When we were younger, and you had that cough, you clear your throat, you can never quite get it clear. You know what I'm saying? We call it the half cough. Whenever we found out one of us had it, we win it.
So this is the second time I grossly underestimated how much was left in this cup. It looked like there was just like a little bit, and I committed to the sip. I didn't go in for the sip. I went for the drink because I thought it was just a little bit.
You got some Coca-Cola in there?
But I'm saying, like, I didn't think it was that much left in there.
This glass is deceptive.
It's deceptive, B.
Look at that right there. That's a good amount.
But that's what I thought.
That's what you thought you had.
That's what I thought I had. That's not it.
And I'm not even taking that to the head like that.
Nah.
Pause.
It's still very good, though.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
This is delicious.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, so what's up, man? Let's do another pair.
Do another joint?
Do another pair.
Let's see.
Mine in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? This guy got like 6 pairs of shoes today.
These are a special one.
Okay.
These puppies, well, as we were talking while you had to run and get some
I
batteries.
had to go get some batteries real quick. I'm back. A little sweaty, but it's all good.
These are the first of the 2 pair. They came from, I got them from the GOAT.
Okay.
Right?
Cool. Yeah.
And this is my first time ever really buying a thing. I got these for Christmas. I put these on my Christmas list, and my family, thank you all, got these for me. So these I got from the GOAT. Now the GOAT is a really dope site. The dope thing about the GOAT is they verify the sneaker before you get them.
Yeah.
And it's dope. Like they have this little card. It's a little card.
SKU and size, right and left, shoe condition, box condition, accessories, structure, color, material, stitching, sole, label, and tag.
Yep.
Okay.
And so when you order from the GOAT, what happens is they send you like all of these emails, and then you can also follow it on
Sticker or something?
yeah. But, and I saw that with the other ones, not with these, because I didn't know these were coming. But the other ones we'll talk about later, I got from the GOAT because they sold out too quickly. But, so they'll say they went to the GOAT, got them from whoever is selling them, they verify it, and then after they authenticate them or verify them, then that's when they charge your account. And then all this comes with it.
So they're consignment shop.
Yes.
Basically.
So, these are...
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have here?
Actually, I'll give you this one. And the reason why I'll give you that one is because there's a tag there. There's a tab on that.
Navy blue on the bottom?
That tag right there.
Let
That
me see this.
is not in English, sir.
Oh, whoa. This is certainly not.
Yeah. It's not in English. Because...
Which translates in Joe's language to, you ain't got these, and don't try to get them. I know what that means. Oh, no, that's black on the bottom.
That's black on the bottom.
Yeah.
These are the Atmos. You know the store Atmos?
Yeah.
ATMOS? The Atmos, they're called the Pop the Streets.
Pop the Streets.
Released by Atmos earlier this year. They didn't really do a wide release. Like, they didn't even pop up on, like, Sneaker app. And I'll tell you how I found them. I went to a football game, and this kid walked past me with them. And I was like, what in the world are those?
Locally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just some random kid. I was disappointed because he had them all choked up. It was just disgusting.
You almost shed a tear.
I was like, what are you doing?
Air Force Ones had to endure.
What are you doing? But nonetheless, and I remember seeing them on like a Sneaker News article, but I didn't remember that they had come out or that they were coming out. And then, so I stumbled on them. I was playing around on GOAT.
Let's talk about
Let's
it.
talk about it. Let's get to it.
First thing that jump out at me, there's like 3 things that jump out immediately. But all suede upper for the most part.
Whole thing.
All right, so for the most part,
Except for
check,
the
the check is like this, like a felt
Yep.
material.
Yep.
And then the toe, the tongue is like, I don't know.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, what is that material on the tongue? That's kind
It's
of
like a
felty
felt.
also.
It's the same
But
thing
it's
as
more
the.
nappy though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then you have the tab on the tongue is like a neon. What is that? Neon pink or orange? And the tab on the back is like a neon.
I'm gonna
green.
do it. I'm gonna do while you're talking. I'm gonna do an
you-
in-game
in-game
lacing. Since we've got to discuss them.
Off-white sole. You know what I'm saying? Don't have the white
Yep.
or whatever like the other joints. Pure white. Y'all
Yep.
can see that, whatever. So it's kind of like off-white on the sole, with the black all the way in the bottom. These tough, son. Super
Tough
duper
joints.
dope.
Yeah.
I was just telling the story about how I used to wear all white Air Force Ones all the time, and then I started freaking all those different colors and S dots, and change your life forever.
This guy, man. So I would go through 3 pairs of Air Force Ones every summer. And the third one that I would get somewhere around, usually somewhere around Labor Day, would be the white on whites that lasted the rest of the year until Memorial Day when I got the fresh pair.
Right.
And then those S dots came out, and this guy over here, it's time to start hitting our Miami trips.
Yeah.
This guy was showing up with the.
All types of colorways.
I was like, this guy. You know what?
They got sick.
You got real ugly.
I went crazy with those S dots. Yo, these,
Yeah.
so these is nuts.
These are tough, man.
I mean, the work you can put in with these. Like,
Yeah.
Forget about it. You can do anything with these.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Everything is an option here.
Everything. Black. You wouldn't think the black would lay over these colors like that, but it does.
Yeah.
So, someone designed these?
Yeah, the store, Atmos.
The store did these.
Yeah, these were for them.
Crazy.
This is their
That's a nice
collab.
It's a nice cop.
It's a nice cop.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna see those. You ain't gonna see those.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Because people not looking for them.
Yeah.
People not looking for stuff. And both shoes exactly the same. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those shit's nuts. That's suede. I love
All suede. These are
love
gonna get the
suede.
spray of their lifetime.
You know that.
I'm gonna have to spray down, and I'm watching the weather. And if one drop comes out of the sky,
If there's more than 13% chance of precipitation.
no way they
stay in
hit
the
the
house.
street. No way.
No way.
No way they hit the street.
And you find out, yeah, those shits.
Yeah,
You
man.
got 2 solid cops right here.
Yeah,
You're doing good.
I'm showing up.
You're showing
I'm showing up. Yeah.
Showing up.
The last
Woo!
episode, you pulled one out, Paul, that was really rude. I don't remember what it was. I just remember how disrespectful it was.
Oh no, those. I had the React joints that I got from my man.
Yeah.
Artist Kid.
Pirate Kid.
Chris
Yeah.
Pirate,
Yeah.
And those other. But you know what I'm saying? It's in the past.
That's how we do. That's how we do.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough joints. I like those.
So that's the cop, man.
Yeah. That rubber with the black on the bottom.
And just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, I got some plans for this purple.
He's not joking. This is not a joke.
I got some.
What did you say about Joe earlier? Colors.
I got some. Woo!
Colors. All right.
Whoa,
man.
boy.
It's my turn. Let me get some water, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what? That's what they say. So, you already know what these are.
I know what those are.
Y'all know what these are already, right? Yeah. So these are this sneaker. Let me just say this. Before
Okay.
we start, 'cause we gotta talk about these.
We do.
I have never seen a sneaker constructed as well as these since the products. Since we used to rock products.
All right.
And I think you're gonna see what I'm talking about, whether you like them or not, which I'm not concerned with.
No.
So these are the Yeezy 500.
These are the.
High.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get involved here.
Let's get.
I've been wanting to
involved.
see. So first off, I thought these are blue, right?
Slate.
Slate.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is basically
All right.
a bluish, purplish type of situation.
All right. So I thought they were a darker blue than what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
the construction on this shoe, son, the design they put into this thing is nuts.
I'll be honest. This is my first time actually looking at them this close.
Uh-huh.
Remember, Kennedy has the low top version, so we looked at those. But there's definitely a difference here.
Big difference. Big difference.
Number one, the first thing that sets out is the amount of cushioning all around this thing.
There's memory foam in the tongue, in the middle of the tongue.
Okay. All right. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. This is where we are. All right. So we've got suede. So we've got suede, leather, but like that grained leather, the nubuck grain leather.
What are you talking about?
All of that.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
That leather. It's not like just a plain flat leather.
It's
Right? It's that grain. It's that grainy leather.
Yeah.
And then this. It's not.
It's alien fabric.
What is that?
It's alien fabric. I don't even know what that is, B.
And if you,
It's grippy.
at the end, when you do the picture of it, you really got to get a close up of this because it's a grain. Like there are lines in it.
Yeah, you can see the lines.
You can see the lines, and they I don't even know what that is. What is it?
I don't know what that is either.
All right. Okay, Kanye. All right.
Yeah.
And then we go into this polyester upper type thing here.
Yep. The bubbles on the side and the back.
And all of these bubbles though are not just bubbles. Like they're actual. You can feel the cushion on the inside.
When I put these joints on, it's like they hug. Because they're wide.
It's like a boot.
They're wide, and you would think that when you put when you touch the inside, like the sole,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel that comfortable.
It doesn't.
It doesn't feel that cushiony. Son, I don't know what they did.
However, it doesn't feel that cushiony in here.
Right.
But when you start to press the sides of this,
Yup.
you realize that this whole thing is nothing but a
big
pillow.
cushion.
Yeah. Because the sole itself is hard. That part is hard. But everything around the encasing of it is crazy soft. Like I'm literally just pressing it in.
Son,
I didn't see that coming.
I had these on my feet laying in bed. I'm not even going to say it loud, y'all. I laid in bed.
Pull the Morgan. You
Like
pull the Morgan on
Like
that.
Morgan. My goddaughter, when you bought us some new sneakers one time. No, I bought
You
those
did.
sneakers.
You ordered the sneakers. I
bought
forget
those
what they
sneakers a
were.
long time ago.
Yeah.
And she tried to wear in the bed. Jill said, take those off. When she took them off, wakes up in the morning, she got the joints on the bed.
In the middle of the night, she got out of her bed, went into her closet, put them on, and got back in the bed. And went.
Hilarious. I had these joints on laying in bed.
So the tongue is attached, completely attached, up until right here,
Very top.
until this portion right there.
All the way from the front, from here.
Yep, all the way
top,
from there
on the top here.
to right there.
No, listen.
Oh.
All the way to the back on both sides. 3 of them.
Oh, that little piping in there.
Little pipe. I always save 3 of them for last day.
I
Y'all know how
didn't
much
even.
I love 3
I
of them.
didn't even see that.
Come on, son. Come on.
There is a single pipe
Yep.
that goes right just above the suede, all the way around.
Yep. 3 of them.
3M. Well done,
These
Kanye.
are constructed very well. I was mostly impressed with that. I love the suede, of course. I love suede. And, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm impressed, man. My first pair of Yeezys. You know what I mean? Yeah.
These are well
Not mad
done.
at these joints, man. Super duper dope.
These are they feel like everywhere this nylon is, it's puffy. Like you can feel the extra cushioning inside of that. But I'm putting my hand on the other side of it inside. And it so if you look in here, you see that it's not. So the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of times you'll get stuff that's just cosmetic, right? And on the inside of the sneaker, on the inside of the sneaker, there's something flat and there's a barrier between that and that's not the case
You
here.
see all the different pieces
Yeah.
on the inside.
And so that means they have a functional use of wherever they are because all of this is just straight cushion.
Yeah, the ankle support You can do anything with these. You can play ball in these.
Yeah.
You can go out with these. I mean, I'm not running ball, but tough, man. I'm impressed, y'all. I like them a lot. I like them a lot.
This is a job well done, man.
It's crazy.
I know they call them slate, and they're navy blue, and this off-white. The sole is like it's not off-white. That's wrong.
Off-white.
That's actually what I thought was slate. The gray on the sole.
Yeah, isn't slate like a purple bluish color? Slate
Yeah,
is like purple bluish color.
Yeah, and that's what that is.
That's what they call it.
And then down here is like a light gray, like a
It is almost gray. It's like cream.
Like the joints you got on right now. What are those? What's the color that they?
Yeah, I can't remember. Like this right here.
Yeah. That's what's here. Slightly dark. This is a well constructed shoe. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's tough, man.
You can pull a little.
Well done.
Pull a little ghost face with these, like, you know what I'm saying? You get
The
you
blue
get the joints. All you die is this.
All you die is
this.
this.
Right here.
And this right here.
We're gonna get into that, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm excited, man. I'm happy about these.
Tough joints. Tough joints.
Let's get to the last pair.
The last pair. The last pair.
Going crazy. Relax.
The last pair. It's no surprise. We talked about it.
Let's get into it, baby.
I tried to get them online. The day that they came out, they did not. They sold out in a few seconds. So I picked them up from GOAT again. Shout out to GOAT.
Shout out to GOAT.
Holla at Whiskey and Kicks if you ever want to talk about something serious.
We review the sneakers on here, man. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me.
And
I'll send them back if you want. No problem. Put the returns right in there.
I'll give you that one.
Oh, yeah.
These are the Kaepernick Air Force Ones.
Kaepernick, baby.
Now,
Oh, look at this.
this is
Pull
not.
this out right now, pause. Look at the details already. Go ahead, man. My bad.
No, you good. So, I got these because I had to. Point blank.
Period.
Point blank, period. If you know anything about me outside of Whiskey and Kicks, I am second vice president of NAACP. I do a lot of community things and
Been doing this forever.
been doing it a while, but Kaepernick has been one of my, more recent heroes for what he was willing to do for his community. So much so that as of the date that is on the bottom of those, which if you look in the sole, there's a date there.
Yeah, August 14, 2016.
Which was the day he took the knee.
First time.
I am an Eagles fan, and that season he didn't play, and I didn't watch, and I haven't watched since, which is tough because that was the year my Eagles won their first Super Bowl.
I laughed heartily at his Eagles going to the Super Bowl that year, son. It was the best thing ever.
It was fantastic.
Hilarious.
So since 2016, I've probably watched 3 football games.
Right.
And that's really because my father-in-law came in town.
It
was on in the house. But
because I come over, I'm throwing some football on.
yeah. So
look, I'm all for it too. You know what I'm saying? I just chose to not watch.
Listen, and it wasn't something I publicized for the record.
Niners.
And I publicize a lot of things.
Right. Yeah, it's your own internal thing.
It was just my thing.
So on the inside though, what is that symbol for? Do you know that?
I have that one over there is different than
different
this.
from that one.
I don't know.
I wonder what
We may
that
have
is
to
for.
do some in-game looking up right now.
That's crazy.
Pull my phone out
Then,
because
so this, huh?
Which one?
The Kaepernicks on the inside of the tongue.
there's a different
There's
symbol
two
on
symbols
each.
On the inside of the tongue on the Kaepernicks.
So
See if you find something out. So.
go ahead. I'm pulling this up. Well, the ice bottoms. Talk about it.
She's on the show. Ice bottom joints. I love ice bottoms, B.
Yeah.
You know I'm a gum sole fanatic. Ice bottoms is right there for me. This upper, again, what is this material?
It's all butter. I'm talking about polo leather. If you're a northerner and you know what butter leather is.
I just donated my leather coat.
Did you?
Yeah, for the joke.
I did too. I just donated my black one. I finally gave it up. You know what butter leather is. There's a
Right.
specific type of soft leather. That's what this is.
This is beyond that. And then they like
The tab
did
on the
something
toe
to it.
is the same leather. obviously, that
Toes
is
is the same
stitched
level.
in.
Yep. Stitched in the back.
However, the Nike sign is that like velvet, nubuck. Yep,
Yeah.
it's a nubuck.
It's a real nice nubuck material.
Fades.
With the white in the back and the fades into the white.
They did a great job of using the black stitching on that to show in when it finally comes around to the white end that is black, which obviously matches the black on the bottom. There's the 7 tab that will never be removed from these when I wear them. His symbol itself, the K with the 7 is really dope. How they set that up. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
That's clean. That's clean.
There's a bunch of flowers inside.
Yeah, I saw the roses. Inside.
The rose, and the thorns on the stems.
The material look kind of crazy on these. You said the thorns.
Yeah, they made a point to show all the thorns of the what are they, vines? Is that what roses come on? Is that what they call the stems? We'll go with
white
that.
shoes look like they carry cloth.
Yeah, they do that. My Air Max have those.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, it's tough, son. These are dope.
Yeah. These were
It's one of those you gotta copy.
And so I will just to show the difference in the shoe, I'm gonna bring up both of the Air Force Ones that we just looked at. If you look at the stitching on the toe box compared to these, the leather is such fine leather that it's wrapped.
It is.
It's actually wrapped.
Like these have a raw edge to them because they cut them there. This is wrapped.
The whole thing.
It reminds me of British Knights.
Yep.
Remember, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
British Knights, the front of British Knights is wrapped over like
so
that.
You'll notice that if you look at all of these, all of the edges everywhere, even on where the laces are, these are all raw.
This is all wrapped.
All of this is wrapped in pure butter leather.
This is very finely crafted.
Yes.
Very nicely crafted. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you would know. I wouldn't know that because I don't rock Air Force Ones. But yep. Those are all raw edges, nice and thin. This is thick.
Yep.
Pause. That's crazy.
And it's just straight black leather, which
Filthy.
Which I can assume he did for a specific reason.
Oh, you know. Yeah.
Being that this is all Oakland based and all of that other stuff, so the black leather may mean that.
And that's the whole movement.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it speaks to the matter of fact. I'm gonna double check 2 seconds while we're still looking at that.
Yeah.
If there are any actual, yeah.
Look at what? What you talking about?
Just if there's a which we're starting to find out more and more that there are meaning behind a lot of things we don't assume. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll find that. I think we got these all wrapped up for now. These are really super dope joints. Whole tongue is leather too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the symbol on the tongue might be his personal logo.
It is.
On
But
the
I
outside.
don't.
That's on the outside.
That's on the outside, but I don't know what the ones on the inside are. Yeah.
Else. Yeah. You gotta find that.
Yeah. We'll figure that part out a little later.
Yeah.
But as for now, these are special joints, man. They'll probably hit the street here and there. You know, I gotta do our MLK breakfast. I gotta do some public speaking there. I may add that to. They'll definitely hit the street a few times in the month of February.
Yeah.
They may sit on ice till then, unless something just really needs me to show up.
Somebody act froggy out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Typically we would be done right now, but we're doing something new.
We're doing something new.
We're gonna come back and we're gonna rap about it.
Yeah.
How about that? So let's go ahead and break, man, and come back and talk it up a little bit.
Good job, Cap. Good job, Nike.
Cap and Nike, man.
I'm still supporting.
Yep.
Still supporting.
Right there. All right, listen, man. This is the new segment called Let's Rap About It.
Let's rap about it.
Let's rap about it. So, it's a new segment within the segment.
Absolutely.
It's still part of the unboxing situation, but the whole premise is that hip hop
runs our life.
This is it.
This is a
the
major part of
reason
our
for
lives.
all of this. So why not talk some hip hop at the end of our unboxing situation?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is everything we're looking at is all hip hop inspired.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah, all of
hip-hop
it.
inspired. So I don't know if you thought of anything. I got a topic. Or
Let's
whatever.
get to it.
You wanna get to
Let's
it?
just like the unboxings, ladies and gentlemen. This segment is literally what we do on the phone a few times a day. Literally.
Just about every day.
Just about every day. There's I heard something in a song or something we read or something that comes up and we end up in these discussions.
And we end up always saying we are wasting
We
material.
are wasting material.
Well, so it's time to stop wasting material. So look, somebody posted on Facebook recently.
Let's go.
And she said that she and her child got into a discussion about who's better, Ghostface or Method Man.
All right. All right.
Right.
We're going all the way in.
She said
What was her?
Method Man. And I was like, her child said Ghostface. And I'm like, yeah, Ghostface is better. Ghostface is better.
But it's not that easy of a decision to come to.
It's not. It's tricky.
It is not.
Because Meth, super nice. So
Meth basically raps like he's on a surfboard. He is the master
Whoa.
of riding the beat to perfection,
yep.
and then creating. I'll add the baby part in there where he has a little bop to it, right?
Right.
So it's melodic but Ghost, man,
It's Ghost.
it's Ghost, man.
And so
Shayla Ghost.
come on. And so you talk about just being spitters is one part of it, but when you look at it, Ghost put out multiple classic albums.
He did.
Method put out any classic albums. Tikal's not a classic.
Tikal is not a classic album.
And that's his best album.
Tikal has a classic song,
Yeah.
but it's not a classic album.
Tikal is hard. I like Tikal.
It's a great album.
Good joint. But
It's not classic.
album.
It got quickly pushed to the side when the Purple Tape and Iron Man came out,
Goodbye.
and it was just a
Iron Man's
forgotten.
classic. What came after Iron Man with Knock'em's on it?
That I'm looking at the cover. It's blue.
too.
I'll say three in a row because there was Iron Man, the one that we're talking about with Shayla Ghost on it.
Yeah, what can I think about that right now? Let me look it up real quick.
Supreme Clientele.
Supreme Clientele.
Come on.
Come on.
Who we
Are you
talking
kidding me?
about right now?
Supreme Clientele?
Supreme Clientele.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That was probably the best sophomore, one of the strongest sophomore efforts in
Listen,
the history of hip hop.
I will venture to say that Method Man has never made a song that can even remotely compete with Daytona 500. Period.
And shouts to Meth. I love Meth.
Meth is and
That goes for a lot of rappers. Daytona 500 is one of the
90% of the rappers on the planet have never done anything.
Come on.
But in this context of this conversation, if we're putting them together, he just hasn't put out that level of material.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Meth a spitter? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
When you listen to what he says, is he spitting? Absolutely.
Crushing it.
But. Ghost was a spitter, and there was that something extra to him, man.
That intangible.
Yeah,
is it intangible.
The
thing.
intangible, yeah,
You
man.
know,
Like you
like
can't
something
pinpoint
with
it.
This guy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Ghost, man.
Ghost.
Ghost, yo. Both heads clusty. Chilling with my man Rusty. Low down, blew up the burner, kind of dusty.
Also, the storytelling ability of Ghostface is otherworldly.
Out of there. He'll paint a picture.
Otherworldly.
What do you say? He stepped in the puddle? Shorty laughed out, you punched her in the face.
There's so many things that happen on a day-to-day in my life that comes like Ghost may have said something that just in a story.
And Ray.
And
Ray is.
Is this where we're going now? Are we going off?
I mean,
because it's easy to get there.
Some stuff, but Ray. I mean, come on, the lingo.
Yeah.
Between Ghost and Ray, the lingo, the skits. You know what I'm saying?
I will ask you, the viewer, this question: if I gave you $40, no, I gave you $200, and I asked you to go get me a Fidel Castro suit.
A Fidel Castro suit.
You may have never listened to Ray, right. But you would know where to start.
You think so?
Easily.
Fidel Castro suits.
You would know where to start. You would know that you need to go get something that's military-wise, that's green or tan, and that's all one color. Like, you would come back with something.
That's true.
Like, yeah. And I didn't say go get me a, like when State Property came out with their clothing line, it was like the jail suits. You knew what they looked like.
Fidel Castro suit.
If I said to anyone, go get me a Fidel Castro suit, and gave them no other instruction, and they would come back with something that would look like that, Ray.
If I told you I would give you $200 to go sit on that couch like,
you would do it. You would do it.
You wouldn't know what to do. Ray, man.
You would know what to do, man.
We talked about it. We should have done it this time, but I didn't look up Ray quotes.
We got to get some Ray quotes.
We got to go with Ray quotes.
This is the beginning of it.
This rap thing, man. Ray, the quotes. We got to end every joke with a Ray quote. Like that was your idea.
Yeah, we got to do that, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, you got something? You think of anything?
I don't.
No, these things.
We
had to think about it.
You got to think about it, and that's so. Yeah.
Gone.
It was gone. Like, we had a whole bunch in the last few days. We were like. I called you with one the other day, and I was like, save it.
Yeah.
We ended up talking about it, and now it's gone.
So I'm going to double up then. I just posted on Facebook just the other day.
All right.
Who came out with the best double album? Biggie, Wu, Outkast, Tupac, or Nas? I love Jay, but Jay's double album, we universally agreed, including Jay, that it was not a good album.
It was trash. I'm not even going to flower. I'm not going to. It's trash.
Wu-Tang Forever, Biggie, Tupac, Nas, Streets Disciple joint. Did I say Wu-Tang? And Outkast.
And Outkast. Okay, so I'm actually right off the bat going to remove. We got Biggie. We got Biggie. Yep. We got Pac. That Pac.
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me as a double album was incredible. And I, ladies and gentlemen, for the record, am not a Pac fan. Right? Let me rephrase that, because that may sound a little more harsh than what I mean.
Y'all need to get over it.
You do. But to be more clear, I've never purchased any album from Pac.
I bought Pac's first album. Illuminati was my drink.
At the time where there was the East and the West Coast thing, I was 100% Biggie and spent years arguing about Pac stuff.
No doubt.
I listened to Pac, and I respect his craft, and he's dope. And I will list him as a top 10 MC any day of the week. All Eyes on Me was a really, really good album. Biggie's double album was
incredible.
That was very, very good. I don't think an
artist has showed that much versatility on any project, hip hop wise, ever.
And that's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
I was going to say everything. He did everything.
And it flowed. It didn't feel like he was like
everything.
Now I gotta do a West Coast joint.
Nope.
Now I gotta do. It was like boom.
Skits. It was everything in that. The Wu album. It was good. It was dope. It was classic. But I'm giving that nod to Biggie's, man. Street Disciple. The Outkast one. Let's discuss that.
Okay.
The Outkast one was two separate albums.
Right. Two separate
right?
albums.
So they had two completely different vibes. Andre's was really more pop. And really, when you think of that album, no one ever talks about, because it was Speaker Box and Love Below, right?
Yep.
No one talks about Big Boy's portion of that.
No.
So right off the bat, because
Big Boy's nasty.
and he was nuts with it, but because
Dope, but Love Below was nuts.
because of how dope Love Below was, it completely overshadowed the second disc in that album.
I almost didn't include them in this because of that fact that it's two separate albums, but
it's a double album.
It's a double album done differently.
It was.
By a group.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? So it's still a double album.
It was a double album. And if we're giving the nod to Biggie for how his was cohesive and how it flowed and how it covered a bunch of different styles and different flows, different regional sounds, all in one album.
It's still being him.
And he didn't change his accent.
Right.
He didn't rap any different. Then they completely lose on that one. I gotta go with Biggie.
Streets Disciple.
Streets Disciple was a very good one.
I love Nas. You know, that's
And Nas is my guy.
Wu-Tang for me. Wu-Tang forever.
Okay.
It's like, come on, man. You got everything. I mean, they took it so many different places and whatnot. The skits out of control. They got in-song skits.
They do.
It's Rain goes do their thing. Wu-Tang forever, and I love that album. So I stood in line at Tower Records on a Tuesday night when I had to go to work on Wednesday morning. And
GW.
listened to the entire on GW campus.
I remember.
Listened to the entire album on the way home and when I got back to my dorms.
I remember.
And
We were, in this instance, we were literally not roommates, but next door neighbors in the dorm.
Next door neighbors.
The wall separated our rooms.
Yep.
20-something years ago. And yes, the hallway knew the moment that Wu album made it back to the door. Because
midnight come driving from DC back to Fort Myers.
we all knew that he got that Wu album. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't argue with the Biggie situation. That Biggie album is a great album.
It's a great album, man.
And actually, Biggie's second album, in my opinion, is better than his first album. It's better than Ready to Die.
Easily. You can
Ready to
easily
Die
make
is
an
a good
argument.
album, but I don't look at Ready to Die as a classic album. A lot of people do. I don't.
Ready to Die was literally the first item I spent my Air Force check on.
Word.
I left basic training. We got in the joint. We left.
You had Base Liberty?
Yeah. So we left San Antonio. I got to tech school at Biloxi, Mississippi. I got off the bus. We got our room. They told us you could go over here. And since our tech school was only going to be 6 to 8 weeks, not to buy anything, you could rent stereos and stuff like that.
Okay,
So I went.
Don't buy anything big.
Right. So instead of buying a radio, I rented this boombox for the 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I walked right across the street before I rented the boombox. I walked right into the BX, and the first thing I purchased was Ready to Die.
Tape?
The CD.
The CD.
Ready to Die.
Ready
Yep.
to Die.
Brought it back, went to the
guest
dorm.
I still got it. Still have it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to the door, threw it right in.
Do it right in.
Yeah, and went crazy.
I did.
It felt so good to get back in touch with the East Coast.
I felt like I had, like everything had passed me by for the past 6 weeks. I was only gone 6 weeks.
I was in San Antonio for 7 months.
Yeah.
So my basic, then I had 6 months of training, and I was down there listening to Big Mike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
And loving it. Isley Brothers, all that kind of stuff. Whatever, hanging out with them dudes from the South. You know what
So
I mean?
let's pivot here since we're in this. Let's do one quick question. What is the earliest hip hop purchase you can remember?
My earliest hip hop purchase, I got my record collection right here. So, but I'll just say one of the first albums I bought, records be. All right. So you said purchases?
Purchase. You had to purchase it out of your money.
De La Soul.
De La Soul.
De La Soul. Not Potholes was the A side. The B side was Strictly Dance Stucky, I think it was called. But they had a B-side that I wanted, and had my dad go buy that record for me when I was in school. And I came home, boom, had the record. Now, it has to be over here in my pile somewhere. Yeah, also, it's one of the first joints I bought. But let me give you my story, though. Let me give you one of my earliest, best stories. Then you go and tell me your joint. So, one of the first records I really went crazy to get was, and I told you this story before, was Schoolie D PSK, what does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yellow cover. One person in history that I've known that had this record, my cousin Mello. Right? Mello had this joint. He had the 2 turntables and all that. So, I went crazy to get this record. So, it was a record store up on Charlie Avenue. We was on Thursday, he was on Genesee back then. One of those streets. So, I used to go up there all the time. Yo, what's up with this record? He's like, what's you do? Come back on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
He said, tell him, come back on Tuesday. I had to come back on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Come back. I went there all the time looking for this record, couldn't find this record, right? Drove me crazy because I love that song so much.
Right.
And one time I went there, he was like, I got something better, right? I said, what is it? So he was like, this. It was 2 Live Crew, first album. So I was like, I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
No clue. My dad bought it for me. Took the record home. Put it up. I didn't even throw it on the record player and immediately. I was a kid.
I've got something better than Schoolie D. Here is the 2 Live Crew album that I am going to sell to a child.
Whose parents is there approving this. He might have bought it. I might have bought it, whatever it was. I don't know what year this was.
But it had the cover on it. Which cover was that?
I don't know what it was. Listen, I don't want to get into my parents' business, but there's a lot of things going on back then.
No, but I'm saying, what cover was the album? Was it the one with the girls?
It's gotta be in there somewhere. I got it.
Wow. Okay.
It has to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I bought that record. So I didn't listen to it immediately. So one day, me and my sisters, I don't know if my sister remember this, and she don't be watching my show. I'm calling you out. If you see this, you know I called you out. You don't say something to me. I know you ain't watching shit. So
That's fantastic.
I'm calling people. I'm doing that from now on.
That's fantastic.
Calling people on my name, Niecy. So, we at home. My parents is gone. So,
Yeah.
well, it wasn't like a sneaky thing. I was like, oh, let me listen to this record.
Finally.
We threw this record on. We were like, what in the son? He's like, let's take it and listen. I mean, it was every pornographic thing you can think about, son.
You're a child.
I'm a child. I've never seen
A grown man
anything about
sold
this.
you 2 Live Crew.
This is before parental advisory.
Absolutely.
2 Live Crew are the ones.
They're
that
the
made
ones
the-
who created it.
Yeah.
Right. It's because of their
Because of them.
lawsuit. So Supreme Court, yeah.
So yeah, shout out to my parents. And I know y'all ain't watching this either. You know what I'm saying? If you watching this, I got that over on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
If you see this, holla at me.
Wow.
What you got though, man?
So I think I'm sure I purchased something before, but I honestly, the one I can remember, the furthest I can remember, because I remember dubbing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
The 2 tapes.
Yeah. And so, growing up when I was younger, that's the same thing, growing up and when I was younger. Having parents that were West Indian, we listened to a lot of soca, a lot of reggae. Like I always tell people that I thought Let's Get It On was actually a reggae song. And the first time I heard Marvin Gaye sing it, I was like, that guy stole this song. Right?
Yo, that's hilarious.
Right. Because I only heard the reggae. My mom had these 2 tapes that she would play in the car all the time.
Stole the song from
And I would only hear that.
Right.
And so I remember the earliest memory I had was of the first tape I purchased was a bootleg tape of D Nice's album.
Word. They call me D Nice.
They call me D Nice.
It was like a black tape.
It was brown, and it had D Nice on the cover. And I went to everybody in Philly, especially uptown, knows if you needed to get anything bootleg, you went to Germantown Ave, because that's where Germantown and Shelton Ave is where all the Muslims had all their stands. You got your oils and you got your, right? So me and my best friend at the time, Bean, lived across the street. Me and Bean went there, and I always remember this because of what we purchased. I remember this because Bean, his dad was a preacher, and he was like the biggest NWA fan there was on the planet. And I used to be like, they curse too much. Like I didn't like,
that, yeah.
I never liked, because I was like, they just curse too much. Right? And so I remember I had the Kwame albums and all that, the tapes, because we were from Philly. We were wearing polka dots. Everybody had the joints. Mm-hmm. But remember, again, at the time I wasn't buying them. I would dub them off of people. Mm-hmm. So one day we decided
about owning the original, but yeah.
Right. So we decided we was gonna go up Germantown Ave. I think he needed to get some sneakers or something. We went up the Ave, and the tape guy was out front, and he was like, it was like 2 for $5s, yada yada, and he was like, well, I'll give y'all 3 for, I think it was like 3 for 10 or something like that. And we was like, all right, let me see what you got. And I bought the D-Nice, and Bean bought X-Clan.
X-Clan.
This was his purchase.
Word.
X-Clan and Bitches with Attitude.
Oh my God! Somebody.
Remember NWA?
Bought that album.
NWA had those girls that were BWA.
I don't even know if they were actually associated with NWA.
He thought they were,
we all
because
did.
NWA and BWA, and I will never, as I got older, I would never forget that, because now that I'm able to look back, I'm like, you couldn't have 2 polar opposite purchases at the same time.
And Bitches with Attitude.
X-Clan and bitches with Attitude.
Son.
And I bought, and they were 3 bootleg joints.
That is the most reggae moment in hip hop ever. Because you can't do that in hip hop. Get on reggae, it's like, I'm Buju Banton.
I'm Mega Banton. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, that doesn't happen in hip hop.
If they are not affiliated with NWA, that is gonna be even crazy.
We're gonna have to cut this shit. We're gonna have to cut this. But I'm gonna give you one more because it's associated.
Let's go.
Hilarious.
Let's go. BWA.
BWA.
I know B doesn't watch this, but I'm gonna actually, when this comes out, I'm gonna link and I'm gonna send this to him. And hopefully, B, after you finish watching this, I need you to comment below on your purchase and your love of NWA.
Listen, comment below, man. I want to hear them stories, B. Real quick story, because we run out of time. Me and my man Stud, we was like down at the record store, whatever, talking about buying this, getting that. So I had money for one tape, he had money for one tape, but it was 2 joints we wanted. Mm-hmm. He's like, well, you get one and I get one. I was like, I already know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Here's the 2 choices. He gets the Slick Rick tape. I got Skinny Boys. I bought the Skinny Boys tape, so I ain't got the Slick Rick joint. I had to double back sometime later.
Oh my God. The Skinny Boys?
Skinny Boys, we need weight.
Wow.
Yo, man.
That was a bad purchase.
I don't know if it was a bad.
No,
in the context, going against Slick Rick became a complete classic.
It did. We were also children, so let's be realistic. Right.
I love the Fat Boys. Skinny Boys has to be
it has to make sense. It has to be.
The world.
Yeah.
Yo, man, that was fun, man.
Man.
We're gonna continue this, B.
Yeah.
That's it, man. We got a lot of dope joints here. And I'm satisfied. I'm happy.
Yeah, man. We had a good time, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Finally get to put some of these on the street. I've been holding those Rosies earlier this month. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, now you get to let the public see it.
Yeah.
Good looking out. Some guys came through.
Absolutely.
Delicious bourbon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody got their palate a little burned up a little bit today.
It was something serious out here, man.
Vanilla notes.
It was something serious.
And it's unboxing, man. We'll wrap you up, man.
Yeah, man.
That'll be good. What's going on, everybody? It's Brocky from Whiskey and Kicks. Thanks for tuning in. Hit me up, whiskeyandkicks@gmail.com. Whiskey and Kicks on Facebook. The Whiskey and Kicks Show on Instagram. whiskeyandkicks.com. Please do not forget, hit the like button, comment, and please subscribe to the channel.